Hello. Good afternoon. I was just having one or two problems with my laptop, but that's fine. It's all sorted now. Thank you. Another Friday. Woohoo! Thank you for joining me on another Friday live. We're going to be talking about something completely different, not completely different, all related, but different from, we've done the 6 weeks rediscovery series, and then we're going to take it from there. We're going to be talking about, we've talked about, in the last 6 weeks, we talked about unmasking patterns, breaking silence, reclaiming broken pieces of ourselves. We talked about these things, but this week we're going to see how we can live beyond the recovery. You've rediscovered yourself, hopefully, and then now I'm going to talk about living beyond this rediscovery. So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for your time. Thank you, because without you I won't be here. I'm really grateful for another Friday live. I'm so excited to be here. I'm so happy every Friday. I'm so happy to be here just to talk to us. So yes, it's also a learning point for me. I'm not just here teaching and teaching and teaching. I'm also here learning. I'm learning from you. I'm learning from your experiences. I'm learning from, all of us here. So it's going to be a short one today, hopefully. And yes, let's just go ahead for today's topic. So we're talking about the nervous system reset. And I'll tell you why this topic was very important for me. I realized that, you have so much on your to-do list. And it wasn't just me. It was, I talked to a lot of women. I talked to a lot of moms. And, we have so much on our to-do list. But when we find out how much we have done for the day, when we see how much, we have delivered, there's this thing that you're like, what have I actually done with my day? There's this, I can't really put my hands on what I've actually done, for my day. I can't put my hands on what I've actually achieved for today. And the moms, were always busy, were constantly busy, were doing this, that. And I just, one day it just occurred to me, like, pause. Where are we operating from? Why are we not be able to achieve so much? Why am I not able to scale the day? Why feeling tired, feeling stressed, feeling dreadful, constantly rushing the kids? And I said, no, there must be something wrong. And then I started to research about it. And then I realized that when your nervous system is not calm, you can't produce results. So you're busy, you're feeding the family, yes, you're doing the laundry, yes, but when it comes to core work, when it comes to something that has to do with yourself, something that has to do with your creativity, something that has to do with you excelling, something that has to do with you feeling refreshed in yourself and feeling fulfilled, once your nervous system is not calm, there's this thing that just blocks out productivity, blocks out creativity. You will thrive and you will strive and strive, but it will become difficult to thrive, and it's a very, very dangerous place to be. You can't keep living like that. I don't know how many of us, growing up, everything was rushed. You need to get into the car, you need to do this, you need to do that, and you find out that you're doing that with your own kids now. You need to. So it's that constant pa 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 pa, and your nervous system has only learned to be in survival. It has never learned calm. It has never learned rest. So sometimes even you wake up in the morning and you're still tired, and you're asking yourself, why am I still tired? Why do I even feel guilty resting? I was watching a reel, and they were saying it was supposed to be a joke. It was funny, but yes, it happened. It happened to a lot of us. The boy was on a Saturday morning. The boy was on his bed at 7. His father walked past the first time. Father walked past the second time. Father walked past the third time, and then comes into his room like, you're on your bed. Are you okay? He didn't say it that way, but you could see the look on his face. Are you okay? You're still on the bed at 7. Hands him the brush, the mop, and the broom, says go and do house chores. When resting was such a crime, when you just sit down, they say you're sitting down, you're doing nothing, when you constantly had to look busy just to avoid the strokes of the cane, to avoid being scolded by your parents. So these are the things we learned. So we've learned pa 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 pa. You've learned to just keep going. It's that constant. I'm using pa 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 because that's how it sounds in my head. That's how it sounds in my head. Just ta ta ta. Keep going, keep going. Your child is 3. She's trying to wear her shoe. You're not able to be patient. It's not because you don't want to be patient. It's not because you don't understand that a 3-year-old is will naturally take their time. I won't call them slow, because what do you expect a 3-year-old to do? But there's something in your nervous system that tells you that somehow that child needs to keep going, keep going. So you rush your children out for school, you rush them to church, you rush. There's something about that rushing that is unsettling your nervous system, and that's why you can't produce, and that's why you can't excel. You're an excellent mother. Good afternoon, Joanne. Thank you for joining us. You're an excellent mother. You are an excellent mother. You're an excellent partner, but you don't understand why. Good afternoon, Bukola. Thank you for joining. You don't understand why you can't seem to just stop. You don't understand why you can't seem to beyond, because house chores, you don't really need create your creative side to build it. Be dealing with the kids, some of these things are autopilot. You're constantly on autopilot. Have you asked yourself, why does it bother you? Does it make you seem you're always in a rush, always kind of out, let's do this, let's do that. There's no calm. And it made me realize how even I've that state of uncalmness, that state of rush, that state of haste had translated even into the work that I do as a coach. It made me realize that, so I started taking deep breaths. I started doing walks, things like, okay, we're going to come to all that, but I can just, share my story so that it's relatable. I'm not saying that I dropped from the sky and I got this. I had to think, why a child needs maybe 3 minutes to get out of the car. Let's say. But because you are so much in a hurry, you just say, unbuckle your seatbelt. You help them to unbuckle their seatbelt. That 3 minutes is what they need to, try. And that trying is what helps them to build confidence. But because you are so impatient, your nervous system is so unsettled. You are rushing them out of the car. You rush them into the house. So there's no time for breathing. And unfortunately, it's how we were brought up. So it's how you're now bringing up your children. So that they don't understand leisure walks, go to the nature walk. Everything is just forced and stressed. It's a recipe also for those children to become like us. We're constantly stressed, stress lines, things like that. You can't just take in fact, somebody asked, why am I always running? Honestly speaking, I'm not always running. Good afternoon, Coach Brenda. It's so good to have you here. Honestly speaking, I'm not always running, but I had to learn how to walk fast. I'll tell you a bit of my stories and triggers. Even though triggers is, partly fictional, partly imagination, but a lot of it is my story. But I remember growing up, my mom would wake us up at, what's the time? 4 a.m. for real. And because 4 a.m. was too early for me, I'm sat on the bed, I'm still sleeping, or I'm lying down, I'm pretending to be praying. So one day I was pretending to be praying. Is it that prayer that I'll pray? And then she get up from there, get up. And I will be forced to eat at 5 a.m. 5 a.m. My tummy is actually not awake. And I'm forced to eat yam and egg and things like that because they want you to be full so that you have the energy for the walk. And then in Festac, Festac was really good then. So it wasn't like you could get buses anyhow. You had to walk from 23 Road to Fifth Avenue to get the bus. So I would be walking, and my mom is faster than me. The other ones are faster than me. So I'm walking with my tiny legs. I learned how to keep up. Honestly, it was when I wrote that story, I just realized that the impact of that so from 4 years to 11 years, that's what I did. And I realized that the impact on me was really, really deep. And you don't even recognize that it's that deep until you start having kids. So my child, who is 2 years old, is saying that, Mommy, I want to wear my shoe myself. I can feel the impatience in my body. I can feel the unsettledness in my body. I can feel the nervousness in my body. I'm like, we need to get out now. Where did that come from? I want you to, I'm talking to you, I'm telling you, I'm being vulnerable, with my story. Where do these behaviors come from? So you're in a hurry. I'm constantly in a hurry to beat Lagos traffic. At some point, we stopped going by bus. We started going by the ferry, which was good. because on the ferry I could actually take a nap, but I wasn't even allowed to because I needed to be conscious of my environment. You can't just nap on the ferry. What if Gomo comes inside the ferry now and carries us? It was one thing or the other, one thing or the other. And then from the ferry, where the ferry stops us, it takes us another 15-20 minutes with my short legs. I'm very short, so I know what I'm saying. With my short legs to walk from the ferry to the school. Everything is in her. So when the person actually said, because when I'm walking around my estate, someone was like, every time I see you walking around the estate, I'm like, where are you running to? And I didn't even think of it as anything. I just thought it was the way people walk in London. Yes, so go, my child cannot nap in peace. I just thought it was, the way we walk. But think about it. How much of this has been imputed or imbibed into my system that I can no longer be patient with the children? So this thing, when we talk about nervous system reset, it's not something I'm going to deal with in the next, 12, 13 minutes. It's something that you will continue to do because you don't even realize how much, I am driving. And then when I started to get conscious of how unsettled my nervous system is, I'm driving and I can feel the tension in my shoulders, in my jaw, in my jawline. You're driving like this, somebody asked me, say, are you angry? I said, I'm not angry. Honestly, I'm not angry, but there's something about driving that I put in all the stress. I'm reversing an automatic car. I'm still using two legs. One leg is stressed on the pedal, saying no, because I'm afraid of parking. I'm afraid everything has its roots. Where do this stress come from? Why does stress sit with you? So you take your book, for instance, you take your journal, you take your book, you want to read, but your mind is racing, keeps on racing. You don't know that these things keep you from being productive. So you're a wonderful mom, you're a fabulous mom, but the thing that keeps you stuck, you don't understand that it lives inside your body until you develop awareness and you realize how much stress, how much unsettledness is inside of you. You will not be able to start to see the little ways you can liberate yourself. The day I realized that my nervous system needed a reset, it was such heartwarming for me. I used to feel guilty about rest. I have a mentor who says she works hard, she does this, and I love her so much. So when I'm resting, I just remember Coach Wendy. I say, yeah, my life, I'm resting. I feel guilty about resting, but she rests. She actually tells us that she rests. She finds time to rest. Why am I feeling guilty about rest? I had a mom who had, problem with resting. If you are sitting down, you are sitting down again. You don't have work to do. Have you washed the plate? No rest. So you feel guilty. These things are inside of you. You don't understand why you cannot be productive as a mom. And I'm not talking about the production of house management. You are brilliant at this. When it comes to yourself, when it comes to your life, when it comes to you, you don't understand why you produce less, no results. Your nervous system needs a reset. It's not something that we'll do in 30 minutes. No, it's not something. It's not something that you will even do in one class. It's something that you would start to gain. This class is just to set an awareness. It's something that you will start to gain an awareness. And then when you are aware of where the stresses reside in your body. I have so much stress. For one day I went for a massage. I hate massages sometimes because if your hand is not hard, I would not like. I'm so ticklish. So I like the one that you even a massage. Somebody was like, Debbie, relax. Even massage, you are doing Okogan. But it's the stress, it's the way we have, it's the things that we have imbibed growing up. It has to be strong. It has to be strong. It has to be, you have to prove, there's a strength you have to prove. I had to prove I'm strong. You swallow those tears, you swallow those feelings, because feelings, I don't understand feelings. You'll be all right. You're too sensitive. You're too this, you're too that. So now you're a mom, you're seeing yourself, you're doing the same thing to your children, you're doing the same thing in your household, and you don't understand why that this thing actually translates into your own life. You being productive, you being creative, You have brilliant ideas, but the nervous system has not been reset to help you birth forth these ideas. You have brilliance on the inside of you, but you are stuck in a cycle that keeps you stressed. So every time you pick up a book to read, that's why you know you have tools, you have journaling, you have things you want to do, but there's a cycle that keeps you stuck, and it is a dangerous place to be. So you ask yourself, oh, is it not Brenda that is doing all this coaching work? How is she doing it? How is she doing it? The more you heal, the more you reset your nervous system, the more you would find the more you will find results in your growth. But if you don't heal, if you don't recognize where your stressors are coming from, if you don't recognize what keeps you stuck, if you don't recognize what keeps you in a cycle, you will not be able. And then do you know why this thing is so, maybe I'm so passionate about this, because you don't even realize how much of your life is going in that stressor. You don't realize how much you've set yourself this year, 2020, what? Okay, we're in 2025. I will go to the gym. You don't understand why you can't stand up from the chair. And please listen to me. I'm not talking about being lazy. I don't know any mother that is lazy. We do so much. We do so much. So we're not talking about laziness, but you can't prioritize yourself. You can't prioritize yourself. You can't prioritize yourself. You can't prioritize your own vision, because you are stuck. So you find excuses. You use children as an anchor of excuse. Oh no, the children are still sleeping. Oh no, I can't go to the gym. Who will stay with the kids? But you know that there's everything you want. You can see. I was reading a book or reading something, and it says, instead of giving an excuse to say I can't work out for 30 minutes, what's the minimum viable um version of that workout that I can do? Stretch for 5 minutes. It is the consistency. It's not the pressure that you're putting in it. It's not the product. It's the consistency. What's the minimum? I can't journal for 20 minutes. Can I write a line about my day? My day was just, whatever it was. It was good. It was, just one line. But we find excuses because our nervous system cannot relate. It cannot release us. So you have goals. Every year you have a goal. Every year, okay, this year I'm going to write my book. Next year I'm going to start a blog. But you don't understand why your nervous system, why you can't rise and do it. Let's just go on. This is me laying the foundation, and obviously we're not going to do justice to this topic in one class. It's not something that we're going to do justice to. So I just want to bring the awareness. Every time you decide to do something, I will say this again, I always say this. Every time you decide to do something and you find yourself saying cannot, will not, do not, and feeling overwhelmed, don't judge that feeling. Take that feeling as feedback and start to question, why is it that I say that I cannot? When you question your feelings, when you question your emotions, when you question the things that keep you stuck, you will start to see answers that you never knew existed. You will start to understand that your leg carries stress. Some people carry so much cortisol on the inside of them that they don't understand. No matter what they do, they would add weight because the stress on the inside of them keeps them in a fat producing state. They don't understand. It is stress. They don't understand why they have arthritis. They don't understand why the back always aches. They don't understand why the joints always ache. But they have stayed in a state that is so tensed for so long, they don't even get it. They attribute it to medical conditions. But some of these things are not medical conditions. They carry resentment on the inside of them. They carry comparison on the inside of them. They carry fear. Fear can cripple. It can cripple you. It can cripple me. They carry so much negative energy that they don't understand the weight, and they can't fly. They become flightless birds that can't go anywhere. And then the life goes on because life would not wait for me and you. I'm going to be 45 in 2 weeks. Life will not wait. It won't wait. Even if I decide I'm not going to, except I die. But nothing will stop the 45 from coming. It would come. It will come. So why not find out what keeps you stuck. Because whether you find out or not, or you don't find out, you will still be in a state where life will keep going, life will keep lifing, people will keep growing. But what about you? So we're going to see why, and these things, it makes you start to think, oh, I'm lazy, I lack discipline, things like that. Da, 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 da. But you know that there's certain things that you do well. You're not lazy. You don't lack motivation. Your body hasn't just seen the reason to work with you. It hasn't seen a reason to work with you. It's still in the what's it called, in the flight and freeze mode. So let's just go and look at that thing. Look at those things I have just said. It says our nervous system has three main responses to stress. It's either fight, it's either flight, and it's either freeze. Fight looks like snapping at your children or your child over a small spill. So your child wants to drink water, and then she spills it, and you don't understand why. Before you could even think, you've already snapped. How many of us? I'm here. I'm not going to lie. How many of us, before you even think about, oh, she was, so your mind, before your mind even says, oh, she was trying, you just said, are you okay? Can't you see? And next thing, your hand comes up. Next thing, it becomes thunder on the child's body. You say, lower your voice, coach. And it comes thunder on the child's body. Well, we're getting there. Awareness is key. I keep saying it. Awareness is a beautiful place. It's a beautiful place to be, but it's not a beautiful place to stay in. So when you get the awareness, find the tools to help you to move from awareness to alignment. Let's go on. Something happens, you feel irritated. You don't give people second chance. You're just quick to destroy everything that is not going according to your plan. This Nigeria, oh, that's how they behave in UK. Oh, NHS. Oh, this. Every time you're fighting people, you're even fighting organizations, you're fighting the government, you are fighting God. You can't fight God, you will win. But let's say this: when you're in fight mode, everything feels like an attack. So those friends, because I'm not one of them. I don't do I don't do fight. My own is freeze. Those friends that everything is an attack. Those people that everything is, even on social media post. Before I came on social media, I had to drink water like 16 times because I had to convince myself that I needed to be on social media, because when the attack comes, those guys are not playing. They are brutal. They are brutal. You make a mistake, you do your hair like this, you don't do nails, you don't do this, they will attack you. Always in a fight mode. Some people are constantly fighting. Let's go on. Flight, it looks like disappearing into endless scrolling. So you have thought about it. Oh, I have all these plenty books to read, I have all these things to do, but you just stayed there. You don't even know what you're doing again. You're scrolling, you're scrolling, you're scrolling, you're scrolling, you're scrolling. You just keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. 3 hours. What am I doing on Instagram? I don't know. You've asked yourself, you told yourself that you've read one or two you've read one or two tidbits on Coach Wendy's profile. You've read one on Debbie's profile. You've read one on Brenda's profile. So your mind, you're telling yourself that you're actually learning, but you're scrolling. Say, I don't follow bad people. I don't follow people that don't know what they're doing. I follow all the coaches. I love them. You are still scrolling. You are justifying why you're scrolling. Please, I'm not excluding myself from this sermon. You don't do. And then freeze. It looks like sitting on the couch, staring at your list, but you're feeling paralyzed. So tell yourself, I beg, can't come and die. I can't come and die. I can't. I cannot. That's where I cannot comes from. It comes a lot from freeze. So you have an assignment, you have things to do, but you don't know how to just get up and do it. You are simply paralyzed. These are the three main responses to stress. You are either fighting everybody, or you are running away. You decide that you're going to close up, nobody can reach you. Those people that we hear them talk today, You hear them on the group chats. They talk today, tomorrow they say, please leave me alone. For months you don't hear from them again. They just say, I'm going through stuff. I just want to be on my own. I just want to be on my own. Flight closed up. So everything you're doing around the children is just autopiloting. Just close up, shut down. Please, I don't know. I can't deal with this stress. Or I'm not talking about cutting off people who are very toxic to you. No, that's not. Or small relationship issue with your friend. You say that you call the person your bestie. Small relationship issue. You are very cut off the person because you're like, I can't deal with this. I can't deal with this. Meanwhile, you are seething on the inside of you. You lack the words. You lack the words to actually connect with this person and say to the person, I don't like what you're even with your husband. So sometimes you're in the same house with the same man that you have made vows with, but because you are constantly in flight mode, you can even use your flight mode to be decluttering the house, to be looking busy, to rearrange somewhere that they just arranged, and then rearrange and rearrange. You can't sit down to face the problem. It's a thing. It's a thing, and it's not a blame. Like I say to you all the time, every response your body gives, everywhere you feel stress in your body, everywhere you tighten up, everywhere you feel emotion, take it as data. It is not judgment. Data would help you process and see where you are, because it's when you see where you are that you can actually now make a solution. So let's go on. Which one of these feels very familiar to you? Are you the fighter? Are you the one that runs? Or are you the one that freezes? Let me say another thing that, made me, when I was, I'm just, this is just going to be like I haven't really finished researching on it, but I was just walking and I forgot my, what's that thing called? My earphones at home. I usually like to walk with maybe listening to earpods and listening to things in my ear. But that day I was like, no. And then it just occurred to me, when last did I listen to to my own footsteps, to the rhythm of, how is the rhythm of my own body? And I was like, okay, it's actually a thing. You listen to the rhythm of your own body. When last did you sit down with your own rhythm, with your own? Do you know how you breathe? Do you know the fall and the rise of your chest? Do you know how your body moves? See, when you start to walk with your body, you will walk in alignment. You will stop fighting. And that day I was like, oh, my rhythm sounds, and I was actually like kind of dancing with my rhythm because it was so melodious. I bring the music, but when last did you know the music your body sings? Because you drown it with so much noise. You drown it. You put earphones all the time. You put music all the time. It's not wrong. I would rather be listening to webinars and things and more things that make me knowledgeable. But once in a while, connect with who you are. It's important. Once in a while, maybe not once in a while, maybe every day for 10 minutes, connect with who you are, connect with yourself, connect with your body. Ask your body one question every day. What would you like? What do you need? If you could tell me what you are feeling, how are you feeling? You see, it's this thing about hustle culture. You keep on hiding what you want, hiding how you feel, hiding who you are. Come out, be known to yourself. There's nobody there. You can't study any other person more than you can study yourself. Or no, apart from God, we're trying to be like Him. But when you understand what keeps you in this fight and this flight and this frozen mode, you're better able to deal with it. When last did you understand what your body enjoys? Do you know your cycle? Do you know when you are high energy mode? Do you know when you're in low energy mode? Do you know your menstrual cycle? Do you know the time where it will be foolhardy to fight the energy dips that your body naturally provides when you're in your menstrual cycle? Do you know these things? Or are you constantly busy hiding yourself, telling yourself that it doesn't matter? It doesn't matter. I can't sit down. I can't rest. Before you speak to the world, have you spoken to yourself? Have you affirmed who you are? As I step this ground, as I step my feet on this ground, I claim. Have you done anything about yourself? Or you just wake up and You're already taking your phone. These are little things that help you to reset your system. Little things. Your body just wants to know that it feels love, because every flight, freeze, and fight mode is just your body living in survival and also trying to protect you. So when your body is trying to fight because you have been in survival mode for so long, survival mode does not produce results. I'm sorry. Survival mode does not produce money. Survival mode does not produce creativity. Survival mode does not produce financial happiness and prosperity. It doesn't. Once you're in survival, your body is working hard to do the wrong things, to protect you from the wrong things. It's not helping you to think past those things that is surviving, is protecting you from and trying to help you to survive. So let's just round off, because I said I was going to be very, very short today. I'm going to my kids' school to go and volunteer. So another day with the kids at school. The good news about this is we're going to just talk briefly as about we're going to just talk briefly about this short 3 minutes. So instead of just going on and on about, us being in flight mode, let's just see how in 3 minutes, we can reset. So I call it the 3 minutes reset map. Here's the good news. You don't need 1 hour of yoga class or a luxury spa day to reset your nervous system. It's those things are good, especially the spa day. I would love to have a full spa day. Are you hearing? Well, those things are good, but you don't need that. You can begin in just 3 minutes. I call it 3 minutes reset map. So you can pause and ask, am I in fight? Am I in flight, or am I in freeze? Before you respond, to the day, before you respond to people in the day, ask yourself, what mode am I in? Am I in fight? Have I woken up? And I've just looked? The man is still sleeping. He's still sleeping. I just looked at him and you're already angry. Uncle, auntie, why? Why? He's still sleeping. The children are even sleeping. Say the children are still sleeping. In my time, I used to wake up at 4 a.m. to go from Festac to Lagos Island. These children are still sleeping. What? Ask yourself. Just pause before you go and even meet them in their room. Pause. Ask yourself. Fight, flight, and freeze. Remember when our parents used to tell us, in my time, I used to walk from A to B, 46 kilometers to go to school. They're driving you to school, and you are still doing this. In my time, your time has passed. Let's leave it. Why are you fighting those children all the time? Why are you fighting Mister all the time? Why are you fighting the house help all the time? What? Pause. Ask yourself. This today, now fight I day. I been a run I dey run. Am I frozen? Am I in the fight mode? Am I in the flight mode? Am I frozen? What is my body doing? That's your second question. Name it. What is my body doing? Do I feel tightness in my chest? Are my hands restless? I used to have restless. I didn't even know that it was because my nervous system was not reset. I'm talking and I'm here and I'm doing this, I was like, and I found out that, because obviously we are children and mirrors. So one day my child was doing it, and I was like, this fidget thing is actually a thing. Why am I fidgeting? Is my tight chest? Are my hands restless? Am I numb? So ask, keep a check. Say, I'm checking up on you, Debbie. I'm checking up on you, Debbie. Keep a check and then reset. You can choose a simple practice. Ground. You can place both feet on the floor, press it into the ground, and remind yourself, say, I am safe. Talk to yourself, hug yourself. Those things that we suffered from, or we were not suffered, because it's not as if our parents wanted to do us any kind of strong thing. No, it wasn't a question of that. They just didn't know. Hug yourself, tell yourself, I'm safe, I'm fine. Affirm yourself. Breathe. You can breathe. You can inhale for 4 minutes, inhale 4 times and exhale for 6. You can do this 3 times. Breathing exercises are brilliant. My class will not cover that. But if you find a way to read more about breathing exercises, they're so brilliant to regulate your nervous system. And the next thing you can do is to shake out your arms and leg. One of the things I love to do when I first wake up in the morning is to go for a run. I have a walking pad in my office, and I go for, not a run. I'm not a good runner, so I walk. I found out that movement helps me to deal with tightness. Sometimes you've not even woken up. You've already seen your to-do list, the thing long. You're already agitated about the day. agitated about the fact that sometimes you even woke up 5 minutes late, but it makes you so unsettled, so angry. These are the things that block you. That's tiny things, oh, very tiny things. You might not even think about it, but it just blocks your creativity for the day. It blocks your productivity for the day. And I'm not talking about being a mom, I will say it. I'm talking about for you as a person. What do you want out of your life? You can become, you can, it is possible. Shake out your arms and your leg for 30 seconds. Movement is great in dealing with your nervous system. So when you're angry, they talk about going for a walk, hearing the birds sing. I've told you about the earphones. You can leave the earphones at home. You can take your phone if it makes you feel safe, but leave the earphones at home. Look at the blue skies. Oh, that's my favorite. I love blue skies. How do you connect with nature? How do you connect with the world around you? How do you connect with the environment? Do these things for your nervous system. Constant noise, constant stimulation would only suppress you and keep you in that survival mode. It will only make you, have your time for quiet. No matter what you do in the day, have your time for quiet. Before the kids wake up, 5 minutes, feel yourself, know who you are, come in contact with yourself, come in contact with who you are. These are the little tips. There are more things to do, but I'm just going to stop here. So I want you to, I want you to, let's do one together now. Let's do one together now. Just put your feet flat on the ground. Close your eyes if you're comfortable, if you're not driving, and inhale and then exhale. Inhale, and then exhale. Just do it 4 to 6 times. It might not, especially for us that, we like gra. It might not look like anything. For us that we like, we like gra. If it's not that you're pushing truck, you have not done anything. No, jokes apart. But these are little ways fend for your body. Ask yourself, how do I feel? Come in contact with yourself, and I want you to also learn that journaling is not just because you want to write bad things about your husband inside your journal because he offended you that day. No, journaling is a way to release those emotions. Journaling is a way to release tension. Journaling is a way to understand your feelings. So maybe you're not asking the right questions. That's why you feel that journaling is, burdensome. But journaling with the right questions helps you to put a perspective to the data that your emotions are giving to you, helps you to put a perspective to the data that comes with how you feel, how the stress sits in your body. So take your journal and ask one thing, one question, just one question for today. Well, not one, a couple. Where in my life is my nervous system stealing my ability to thrive? Think about it. Where am I struggling to thrive? Where is it that I am struggling so much? I can't thrive because every time I try, there's a block. Have you tried it? You join all the classes, you join everything joinable. See, there's a block. When there's a block, there's a block. Unfortunately, there's not much you can do when there's a block. So before you can thrive, then that block has to be removed. Where are you trying? Trying really hard to thrive, but your nervous system keeps stealing that ability. Is it in your parenting? Is it in your dreams? You have dreams, but you cannot put, for the life of you, you don't know how people translate dreams into reality. You can't. These people are trying. Oh, these people they have maybe because their husband have money. Maybe that's why that they're able to do these things. It's not true. It's not true. Dreams first come from you. It doesn't come by having money. It doesn't come by having money. But there are people who are able to translate dreams to reality because they have removed the blocks that their nervous system has been, those blocks that steal their nervous system energy. It's in your daily energy. You find out that by 11 o'clock, by 12 o'clock, you are done for the day. Literally, you can't handle any more stress for that day. Anybody that comes to you after 12, the person is going to hear me because I'm done. I don't have the capacity to deal with humans, whether my own that I produce from my body, or the one I married, or the one that are my friends. I don't have the capacity, so I shut down. 12 o'clock. Where is your energy being stolen? Where is it draining every day? Every day. There's so many, aspects to this nervous system. There's so many aspects. Some people, is resentment that steals their daily energy. They don't even know they're resentful because they haven't necessarily, stripped off the things. They haven't asked questions. They haven't asked the right questions for them to see themselves the way they are. They haven't stripped themselves. Everything else is the problem. They have never seen themselves as a problem. They've never seen the problem in their own lives. Some people is the comparison. Some people is just one thing or the other, but they don't understand that these things block. So the more you try, the more you look, the less you see. The more you look, the less you see. It's a real thing, because if you think about it, my slogan is, "Hey mamas, let's start living." It's a real thing. I've seen women in their 60s, I've seen women in their 50s, I've seen women in their 70s that it hurts me so much, because the capacity that God has given to us, this is my favorite topic. The capacity that God has given to us is limitless. The Bible says that we were created in the image and likeness of God. How are we created in God's image and likeness, but we are not able to produce the kind of result that we should be producing? Think about it. And these things it's not because anything. God is not partial. There's a process. There's something that has to happen, but there's a block. And if this block stays, you will stay here like this. So the time is going. It won't stop. And that's the painful part. Some people don't realize until they're 50. Some people don't realize until they're 60. Some people don't realize until they're 70. But the beauty about it is that whenever you realize, and then that's the time that's your morning, you can still wake up at 70 and still do something meaningful with your life. There's no deadline for meaning. So please, let's take this thing seriously. Every emotion, every tenseness, every stressor in your life, treat it as data. These are the things you are journaling about. These are the data you are feeding on to bring solution to your day, to bring solution to your life. Because for every day you reset your nervous system and you move forward, you're moving your full life forward. For every day you stay unset and stay unsettled and stay tensed, it is still your life that you are setting behind. Let's just take this as an encouragement. The reason we need to, pursue these matters. So it says, or you can ask your body. If my body could talk right now, or you can ask, not your body, if you can ask, if my body could talk right now, what will it be begging me to release? If my body could say, "Debbie, I want you to release something," what is that one thing that your body will be begging you to release? What's that one thing? What's that one thing your body will be begging you to release? When you feel yourself, ask yourself, where's the stressors? What's that thing that you say, just let it go? Is it the labels? Is it the labels? Is it the things that you have convinced yourself that I'm not this type of person? It's a lie. Everybody has the capacity to recreate themselves. You can recreate your story. You're not a concluded case until you're dead. That's my stance. Until you're dead. And you're not dead, you're still here. So as far as you're still here, you have what it takes to recreate. See this, I'm not the smiling type, I'm not the laughing type, I'm not this type. You can recreate yourself. You can redesign the kind of life you want to live. Take it from me. I would say it again. You can redesign the type of life you want to live. So take 5 minutes. I hope you've written these questions down. When you have time in your quiet moment, just write. Don't judge and don't edit. Let it flow. Don't judge. I keep saying to you, meet yourself with compassion. Don't meet yourself with judgment, because judgment will block you from getting answers. Judgment will keep you from getting help. Judgment will keep you in shame. Judgment will keep you small. Judgment will tell you that you don't even bother yourself. It's not you. Every time, that's our last year you join one program, you did what are you inside the program? You are sitting there, lodo. Judgment will keep you stuck. Meet yourself with compassion. Meet yourself with kindness. This is data. Data is what? Data. Let's continue. So let's tie this together. Your nervous system is the soil of your life. If it is poisoned, nothing grows. If it is tended, everything flourishes. Your nervous system is the soil of your life. If it is poisoned, nothing grows. If it is tended, everything flourishes. When you reset, you unlock energy for your children. First for yourself, obviously. And you also unlock energy for your children. You unlock courage to go after your dreams. So you're no longer in freeze and flight mode. You start to unlock the energy to go after your dreams. Your dreams require energy, remember. When your energy is channeled into the wrong things, it will have no energy to follow those dreams. So it's the same energy. It's not like you have energy for this and then energy for that. It's the same energy. So don't let it be channeled into the wrong things. You unlock clarity to handle money, and you unlock clarity, and you unlock clarity to handle money and your choices well. So don't play with these issues. I may not have gone so deep into it, but you can do this for yourself by just first of all creating that awareness. And that's why at this point I'm going to be talking to you about our 90 days becoming program, because a 30 minutes or 40 minutes, I don't know how many minutes we've been here, 46 minutes talk on Facebook, on YouTube won't cut it. 90 days becoming her program is, we don't just talk about nervous system reset. We're going to practice them until they become your new normal. So we're going to be practicing it. You need someone to hold your hand. You need somebody to guide you through it. You're going to be practicing it until they become your new normal. Imagine that you are living every day from calm, from creativity, and from courage. Just imagine it. How much you can achieve. I don't know who was the author, but I have this book, this 4-hour week book. I know some people, the man was claiming that you can do so much in 4 hours in a week. And do you know the honest truth? I believe him. If you put your mind and your back into something, you're fully present in it. You're not dysregulated, unregulated, and unsettled and all that. You can produce work that in 1 week you stretched and stretched and this is my story. This is exactly my story. So come, let's do this work together. Let's do this 90 days together. Let's do this 90 days and let's find you again. Find your creativity again. You'll be shocked how much you've locked up inside. Channeling it to the wrong energy, channeling it to the wrong things. You'll be so surprised how much you can unchannel. And the link to the 90-day program, let me just put it here. Sorry, give me 1 minute. I hope you've not run away. Link to the 90-day program is here on my screen right now. Don't worry, I'll soon have my admin doing all these things for me. We're still, we're still in early days, but let's work this work together. Let's do this work together. It will pay you. It's just a small investment for your own growth. It's just a small investment for your own for your own living. That's it. Hey mamas, let's start living. And until I see you next week, please go out there and crush this topic. Start to live in awareness. Start to live, in fullness of life. What are the things that bring us what are the things that make us not to live in the fullness of life? It's these little things. When your nervous system is unsettled, when you're constantly living in survival mode, where will the fullness come? Come, let's do this work together. Hey mamas, let's start living. I'll see you next week.